Okay, hi Nirmal. So we've got another set of essays from you. Great. Thanks for sending in the previous ones as well. Let's take a look at what you did here. Just remember, it's really helpful if you can actually include the image in the in your answer. But I'm pretty familiar with this one, so I should be fine. But just for future reference, please do that and provide it in your answer. All right, let's take a look at what you did here. The pie chart shows the interest in popular school subjects, and you list them, good, in Germany in 2017. Units are measured in percentage. Overall, it is evident from the chart that history and PE had the highest and similar proportions, while IT shows the least popularity. Okay, so we had to change some vocabulary there. All right, let's see. To begin with, the most popular subjects were history and PE in Germany. History and PE, all right, rather than saying history and PE in Germany, history and PE, you could have said instead, this would have been a great opportunity for you to use some nice cohesion, is you could have said these subjects accounted for the lion's share with a percentage of 22.4 and 22.9 respectively. Not two of these subjects, but these two subjects were approximately, now this is the wrong vocabulary here. We use things like threefold when we're talking about increases. You say it was a threefold increase, but here we don't have an increase. So what you need to use instead is the language of comparison. What do I mean? I mean you just need to say it was 3 times higher. All right, so these two subjects were 3 times higher than biology. Now, it's important here to mention why you're talking about biology. What's the point? Why are you mentioning it here? All right. The second most popular school subject was math. That's not true. It's not the second most popular. You've already told us that it's history and PE. So you really mean here the third most popular was math. Likewise, interest in the subject of physics was not almost similar. You say almost identical or similar. That's what almost identical means. It means similar. So you can't say almost similar. So interest in the subject of physics was almost identical to math. And here you could have just said at 18.1. That would have been fine. Popularity of geography. No, it didn't shrink. There's no movement here. So what I see you doing here is you're using the wrong language. In fact, I recently talked about this in a podcast where you've learned some of this vocabulary of IELTS, but you're using it in the wrong place because this is what we call a static diagram, okay, which means there's no movement, there's no increase, there's no decrease. There's just comparison. So all of this language about shrinking and increasing and threefold and so forth is inaccurate. Let's try it again. The popularity of geography was 3 times less than that of physics. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. I don't no. Well, twofold, I don't understand. Twofold increase from IT? No, I'm lost. I don't know who is what and what is where. Shrinking and increasing, and no. Which was 3.7. The pie chart shows the least popularity of IT in Germany. Let me try it again. Popularity of geography was 3 times less than that of physics, but twice as high as IT, which was 3.7. I think that's what you mean. Okay, so what we clearly see here is that you've misused some IELTS vocabulary. There were no increases, there were no decreases, there were no shrinking, so that all needed to be changed, okay? All right, did you miss a subject here? I thought you did. No, I guess not. Geography, physics, you mentioned it all. Okay, fine. So let's move on to your task 2. Okay. Part-time jobs, that's what you said. Ever since the horizons of education have gone vast. No, they didn't go vast. They have become vast. So Ever since the horizons of education have become vast, thousands of students have been pursuing their education from different countries. All right, I'm confused, but let's see. Despite knowing the fact that studying and working at the same time is going to be a challenge for them, they take up their responsibility of their education fee themselves. In this essay, we will discuss both negative and positive aspects of being a part-time worker and student at the same time. Okay, first of all, why are we talking about students from different countries here? This is very confusing to me. I don't understand why you brought it into this essay at all. And then here, you tell me that you're going to talk about the negatives and positives, but you know what you didn't do? You didn't answer the question. It says, do the benefits outweigh the disadvantages? That's what we need to know the answer to in your introduction. That's the best way to make your position clear throughout your response. And this is what you need to do, one of the things you need to do in order to get a 7 in task achievement. So whatever that question, whatever that command asks you to do in the prompt, you have to address it in the introduction, okay? So, a couple of problems in the paragraph so far. Students enjoy more benefits by working part-time. The ones who are dependent on their guardians for financial aid, no comma, can ease the burden off their parents. In their work environment, they develop attributes without the, such as confidence, patience, a sense of punctuality, and time management. These work ethics, values, and gain experience further help them land their prospective jobs. The add-on responsibilities as worker keep them focused and persistent in chasing his or her aim. The sense of using their time wisely does not give them a chance to think about involving themselves in antisocial activities such as drug trafficking, crime, vandalism, drinking, etc. Okay. A couple things here. First of all, let's talk about the sentence here. I don't ever want to see the word etc. or so on in an essay. You either tell me the whole list or you just leave that out, okay? What you could have done, you said such as, and so when you say such as, I understand that the list is not exhaustive. You're simply giving me a sample. So just get rid of it. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like laziness. Like there's more, but you didn't want to talk about it. So it's definitely something you don't want to do in these essays, okay? Such as drug trap. I would have just written about drugs. That's enough. So drugs, crime, vandalism, and drinking. Full stop. Now, that's one little thing. Let's talk about the big thing here. The problem with this paragraph, Nirmal, is that it's a list. It's just idea after idea after idea and no development of those ideas. Let me tell you what I mean. So, there are benefits. Great. It's a very clear introductory sentence. I know exactly what I'm going to read about in the paragraph. Wonderful. But then you say, they take the burden off their parents. So imagine this is a list. Number 1, they ease the burden from their parents. Number 2, they develop these wonderful attributes. Number 3, these attributes help them land a job in the future. Number 4, these responsibilities make them focused and persistent. Number 5, they don't get involved in all of these antisocial activities. So do you see? It was just an enormous list of benefits that are gained. What I want you to do, instead of writing me a list like this, is focus on just 2 benefits that people gain from working and analyze those. So, for example, you said they gain these attributes, etc., etc., etc. Okay, answer the question, how and why, or how or why. Okay, so go into it a little more deeply. Here you said the add-on responsibilities as a worker keep them focused and persistent. How or why does it do that? This is what you need to do, okay? Because what you just did was a list of benefits and no development at all. So let's move on. On the other hand, working as a part-time worker has its own disadvantages too. The onus of being a student and a worker at the same time, no comma, reduces their mental and physical capability and efficiency. As a result, they score lower grades in their exams. Some students fail to handle both the worlds together, and they don't go under depression, they become depressed. The other disadvantage is that the students who start working at a tender age, no comma, may get overconfident in their life. They fail to evaluate between the importance of their education and temporary job. I don't understand that. So how does failing to evaluate between this show their overconfidence? Now, I like this paragraph considerably more than the other one. You did exactly what I wanted you to do. You focused on two things and you developed them. Okay? You explained, you gave me the hows and the whys. Here, I think the word maybe overconfident is wrong. Maybe you meant something like, they get kind of confused. They kind of lose their focus. That's what it really sounds like. And then they fail to evaluate the importance of their education and temporary job. This may, and I wanted you to go one step further, this could lead to students giving up their education in order to gain the benefits from, their part-time job. Okay, like financial benefits, like freedom and so forth. All right, so you could have gone a step further. In conclusion, I would say that every coin has two sides. It is a responsibility of the individual to be prudent and divide their time wisely between their study and work time. Okay, number one, I really don't want to see idiomatic expressions like this. Every coin has two sides. It's just not appropriate. It's not academic sounding. It's a little too conversational, and it's not really appropriate for IELTS. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is that you never answered the question. So still, even at the end of this, I have no conclusions here about your viewpoint. Okay, so to show you why what I'm saying is really important, I've brought out the Task 2 band descriptors. Obviously, it's a public version. Here we're talking about task achievement. Let's look at the 6. It says, presents a relevant position, although the conclusions may become unclear or repetitive. I don't even think that's true. You never presented a relevant position. You just said, oh, I'm kind of somewhere in between. So no, look at this. Expresses a position, but the development is not always clear. There may be no conclusions drawn. That's exactly what you did. Okay, you didn't draw a conclusion. You just said, oh, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. They're both benefits and disadvantages. You have to be a little firmer here in your opinion. You have to say, do the benefits outweigh the disadvantages? Okay, because this is what they asked you. They didn't ask you, oh, somewhere in the middle. They asked you very clearly, do the benefits outweigh the disadvantages? And you didn't draw any conclusions. We have no idea, all right? And so you can see what that's going to mean in terms of your task achievement, all right? So go ahead, correct these. Let's see them corrected, and let's see another set of essays from you. I want you to pay closer attention to the task, okay? Closer attention to the prompt. Good luck on your next assignment.